Tonight's show is brought to you by
Muso's Corner.
All right, guys, welcome back to Nighttime. This week we have Jono, Brendan,
Hey.
and we have our fan guest host, Toddy Adfor. Welcome, Todd.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Pleasure. We'll jump straight into it, guys. We've got a good big show tonight, and we have a special guest on as well. So we'll jump straight into it and we'll get into the what a week it was in football, boys. Bit of controversy with Latrell Mitchell.
But it started off with a great, and then it just sort of went some controversy and downhill because the Knights got a good win. So what more can we say?
Oh, that's the most important thing for us, was the Knights win, but we'll get into that a bit more soon. But yeah, a good win and a bit of controversy with South and some other good football too.
I think it's the season for it. It's a lot of good football, even for people like me who weren't right into it. It's addictive at the moment. Everyone's got, even ones that have probably not going to make the top 8. They're still playing their hearts out. So there is blood, sweat, and tears going on at the moment.
Well, that's right. Floorboy Gary's Riverworms upset the Storm.
Yeah. That's true.
That was true.
Yeah, that was not expected. I honestly didn't think that they would dominate the Storm. I know it wasn't a massive, big win, but the way they dominated the Storm up through the middle and out on the edge,
they didn't really have an answer to come back with, which was surprising with the Storm.
And they only had one player missing too, so they can't really use that excuse of, we had a couple of players missing. It was only I think Nelson at South-Alona that was missing.
And Dale Finucane.
Yeah, that's a massive loss for them. Good win for the Eels. They could be a surprise packet. They could be, firming right now.
Yeah, well, that's true too. I wouldn't count them out, but Wyber is still on the Latrell Mitchell. 6 weeks. Fair? Not fair.
Fair, definitely fair. I honestly thought he could have got more. Joey Minor, he's out for the season. Don't know how many more weeks he's into the next season, but yeah, he's lucky to get 6 weeks.
True.
I thought six was fair for me. I know, poor Joey Martin's season's done, and best wishes for him and speedy recovery. But
yeah,
I don't think. I think he could have got 8, and I would have been happy with that. But
yeah,
beyond 8, I think it was a bit unfair because we were sort of a bang playing. Latrell Mitchell, he's 6'3", or he's a tall bloke, so he's not like he's a small bloke and he's gone up to level him.
But the jury's still out, isn't it? That was it intentional? Was it just one of those things that just happened in the games? There's no denying it. It was pretty punishing, but I don't know if there was any intent in it, and that's what a lot of people are on the fence about at the moment.
Sorry, there you go.
But then you get the Broncos player. They got, what do you get, 4 or 5 weeks or something? Nowhere near as bad.
That's the other thing that's causing a lot of problems at the moment is the inconsistencies with the bunkers decisions and all that stuff. That's
right. So, there's got to be more consistency. And I know carryover points, but I still think each case should be each case. You serve your time, that goes out the window. If you get done again, well, it gets judged on that, each case. Because, I just think there's too much inconsistency in the judicial system. But, even Trent Robinson, the Roosters coach, has been fined $40,000, I believe, for his comments.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Yeah, I thought I saw that, and I thought he was just being passionate, and I don't think he's being totally disrespectful at all.
But I sort of agree with he should have got it, because there's been a few coaches this year that have said less and been fine. So
I think it was money well spent, to be honest, because like he had to like address the elephant in the room, to be honest, because
true.
like you can't have like a decision like that. And I know like Latrell should have honestly been sent off, not 10 in the bin, because I thought
That's
that was
right.
a bit ridiculous.
If it was Magic Round, he would have been sent.
Yeah, he probably would have got about 12, I reckon, if it was Magic Round.
Yeah, he's actually he's a Magic Round.
Oh, you're dead right, but like he should have been sent. But what I'm getting at is they still had to find Trent Robinson, because I think it was Ivan Cleary, if I'm correct, who said something. I think it was under he believes something. You know, he didn't actually say it, but he believed that the refs brought him back into the game or something like that.
I remember
He got
that.
fined. He got fined big time. So
he got fined about 20 grand for that, I think.
yeah. So I mean, they're only human too, the video refs on them, but we can all see it, so they should see it.
Well, Paranara, I agree with what Robinson about Paranara. He said he knows a bit of footy because he played. He played in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah,
and
St. George.
For him to especially miss something like that, like fair enough, he sent him to the bin, but he should have seen that as a dangerous contact initially, and should have been sent, not 10 in the bin, should have been sent.
100%. But
Latrell scored another 2 tries after it, 1 or 2 tries after it. I'm not saying that was the reason why Roosters lost, but
but I look at it too. They've lost a player in Manu,
one of their best players all season. Easily.
That's right. But then Souths don't lose a player because it's it's a bit unfair.
Not a like-for-like situation there.
No.
But the biggest bummer is we've got like 2 major like NRL players that won't be playing any finals football because Joey Manu's out for injury and Latrell Mitchell's because he's suspended. That's
right.
like a big miss for the whole game in general, like having 2 superstars out.
That's right. But I must
that's going to have huge implications on South's finals, not just this week, but their finals, because their 2 biggest try assist players for the season have been Latrell and Cody Walker. Now, Cody Walker is most likely going to go to fullback, which isn't a bad thing, but he's not going to have his hands on the ball as much.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I
must say, I don't agree with the social media messages and that Latrell and his partner have been.
Definitely not. That was disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ban him for life. Ban him for life from all live games.
I don't understand it's bringing out the worst in people, and it's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. I just wanted to say that old mate, when he got the knock to the face, you could see the pain, and I don't think it was the pain of what just happened to him, the physical pain, but I think it was the pain of I'm out.
He knew it was over.
Yeah, and right. I felt for him now.
It's also one of his best friends. It's the emotional pain too, because Latrell's one of his best friends.
That as well.
Best friends not even in the cheekbone.
Well, they were.
What?
Well, also the Bulldogs, Lachlan Lewis. He was on 450 grand a season. Is not going to get his contract renewed, and no one is interested in him now for trying to sell the NRL soundbar that belonged to the NRL on eBay.
What?
I was just actually concerned. Was this actually a story? Because I heard it was a bit of a rumor and it was a joke or something. So it's actually a true story.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the strange stories I've heard all season.
Did you know about it?
It was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing when I saw it because I thought it was a joke.
Well, he's just destroyed his career at the moment for that. But
for just a soundbar, there's probably only $200.
I hope it was worth it. That's all I can say. Yeah, and
I read yesterday that the NRL won't even register him if he does get someone picking him up.
Well, that's true too, and it's put a massive damper on his future in the NRL. That's for sure. Especially,
Super League. We don't know if that's going to be an option because, they're in and out of lockdown as it is.
That's right. Nothing's, really everything's up in the air at the moment with COVID. But
Yeah.
then the ARL Commission will meet on Tuesday, and they're expected to finalise the Warriors needing to remain in Australia for another season.
Oh, that's pretty bad, I reckon.
I feel for him, yeah.
Tough.
Yeah,
It's tough for the players because they've been away already for 2 years and not been able to go back home is
well, they've
I
got to
mean,
get
they're
their
in a
family.
pretty bad. But they've still got like their partners and families over.
I'm not sure. If not, they have to get them out.
Yeah, I feel for those guys. I mean,
Mm.
like a quarter of that side that have been brought in the last like season and a half, have
Mm.
never really stepped foot in New Zealand or had the experience of playing at Mount Smart. It's got a
That's right.
very passionate crowd, one of the most passionate crowds besides Newcastle. And they've never been able to play on that ground. And then you can look at all the coaches, staff, the players that are from New Zealand. Some of them haven't seen their family in probably 2 years.
I'll take my hat off to them, mate. And yeah, the Warriors. If we can't make the grand final of the Knights, I'd like to see the Warriors, but they deserve it. But yeah, Paul Buggers, take my hat off
At
to them.
least make the eight. Like, make the eight. I honestly hope they make the eight this year. Like,
That's right. Panthers captain Nathan Cleary become the second youngest player behind Graham Wombat Edie to score 1,000 points on Sunday.
Yeah, that was good to see. Good old Nathan Cleary, all that hard work he's put in. He probably would have done
I always
sooner if
knew
he
he was
didn't
going
get
to be
injured.
great.
Yeah, no, he's destined for more things, the young fella. So
I think by his end of his career, he will be the leading point scorer.
yeah.
1,000 points at only 20. What is it? 23, 24 still. Debuted at 18. I think by the end of his career, he'll be number one in a lot of stats. If he stays injury free, that is.
Yeah, it's looking that way, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's already played over 100 games and he's only 23.
Also, Josh Dugan appears to be over. No clubs want him. No one from the NRL or Super League have shown any interest in Josh Dugan.
Wow.
Oh, wasn't only the beginning of the year, it could have been last year, he was trying to look for a medical retirement. So it doesn't really surprise me that no one really wants him.
I mean, he's brought it all on himself too.
He's had a lot of injuries, like a lot of niggling injuries, not long term, but those 2 to 3 week injuries that he seems to get just put a hamper on the rest of his career.
Yeah, that's right. And Todd Payton, the Cowboys coach, is reportedly under enormous pressure to keep his job past this season.
He'll be the first coach fired next season. Can't see Cowboys doing well. Townsend's a decent enough player, but can't see him taking them to the 8 next season. They'll be bottom 4 again.
Yeah, true. Maybe Trent Barrett won't be far behind him.
I reckon Barrett will be the first coach fired next year. If he doesn't get some if they lose, but if they lose by close, I reckon he'll stick around. But if they're just getting flogged every week, he won't last long.
If he can't take the Dogs to the 8 next year with the players that they're going to have in his disposal, then I think he'll be gone. He's another Nathan Brown who just can't seem to get to them to the next level.
Well, there is a lot of players exiting the Bulldogs now as well because they're in salary cap issues.
Yeah, they're Nato Carr. Top of my head, who else have they brought besides those two?
Well, the ones they're letting go, as from today, they've come out and they said Dylan Napa, Will Hopoate, Lachlan Lewis, surprise, Nick Meaney, Ranulf Katoni, Sione Katoa, surprise, Dean Britt, Chris Smith, James Romanos, Brad Deutz, Watson Helata, and Kiko Menu. So there's a few decent name players there that they're going to let go.
Nick Meaney's a surprise too because he's been probably one of their better players the last couple.
Yeah, he's gone to the Storm.
He will win a premiership at the Storm.
But Dylan Napa for the right cheap enough coin might be all right for a club maybe like the Tigers to pick up.
They need all
that'd
these.
be good.
Yeah.
So, and lastly, the Titans are in talks with Parramatta. The Parramatta want Tyrone Peachy for a utility role.
I could see him like sliding straight in there and helping him out straight away. Like he's a handy player. It's just unfortunate he's not getting a lot of game time at Titans. So be good to see him get a fresh start.
He's a basement player. Like he could fit in any side, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's right. He's well, that's pretty much most of it. But we might take a short break and be back shortly.
The following segment brought to you by Steak and Chops.
All right, guys, and now it's time for crew review. Yes, so we got the win on the weekend.
It was a very good win. It's painful. It was scary. It was painful. It was nerve-wracking. And God, you could hold your breath when Piercy had that field goal coming up.
Yeah, but you know, I'll take a win if it's 1 point, 20 points. I don't mind as long as we just keep winning.
I was glued to my seat. I can't believe I'm saying it, but yeah, I was glued to my seat. And as soon as that ball left his foot, he knew he had it. And you could see it in his face. And it was like, oh God, yeah.
I like the try, Pierce's try, the pass from Mann, then the pass from Ponga into Pierce. That was some beautiful play there.
It's what we've missed all season. It's really what that combination between our backs and our halves. We've missed out in the early part of the season.
That's right.
6 weeks that we've had each combination firing.
Yeah. Well, it comes back down to a bit of time with each other on the park, and hopefully this weekend will be no different, and we'll put the sword through the Broncos.
That's right. I think exactly what Todd was saying. And I think we've got an interview with Kurt coming up, and I think he mentioned that now that everyone's there, they're starting to find their rhythm. They can see how, like, and you alluded to it too. Where Piercy and Clifford, and Bradman, they're all working together really well. They're becoming a well-oiled machine because they are spending more time together, and they're starting to learn, techniques and then bounce off each other. And obviously Pongers knows how to create hospital passes and stuff like that. So,
but I guess too, like Clifford came through halfway through the season, but then
he slipped straight in, hasn't he?
Behind us. Like just having that that's what I'm thinking of, like togetherness. I know it's not what I'm thinking, but like all that continuity, like playing together, like it just means like you're in this position, you're in that. I'll take over this. So it's just disappointing they haven't been healthy like this whole season, because we would have been a lot more safer in the top 8 than trying to get through the last couple of rounds. But something to build on for next year.
We haven't had a dominant 6 in probably 10 years. It's always been makeshift. Makeshift 6. We've finally got a dominant halves pairing that know their roles.
Well, that's right. I mean, like, no disrespect to Kurt. I think Kurt played well there a lot of times, but
he just needs a little bit more wet grass, as I said, and so he can just slide that a little bit more to get that try over.
But Kurt's his own worst enemy because he can play so many different roles.
Same as Kurt Gidley.
That's right. They must be the name. They can use them anywhere.
It must be the name.
One thing I noticed was the thing that got Piercy in trouble, a few months back, was when he had his arm out and he ripped all these what do you call that? His pecs, whatever it was.
Pectoral.
Yeah, when I watched the game, he nearly did it again. Like he likes to, I think he thinks he's going to fly or something. And it's like, get your arms in.
Well,
it was a similar way he did it the first time back in 2018. He has that habit of hanging his arm because he loves to be aggressive in defense. That's one thing that people probably forget about Pearce is how aggressive in defence he is.
Speaking of aggressiveness, Mitchell Barnett. Oh, I loving the mongrel he's come out.
Well, speaking of aggressive too, like I thought Jake Clifford had a couple like bust out of the lines and shut down plays pretty well. So I thought he had a cracker game defensively too, and I think that's what really helped us like get the win.
Chase his own kicks really well too, Jake Clifford. Something we've had in a long time is someone who chases the halves kicks and his own kicks at the same.
How good is his kicking game?
He's probably got the best spiral bomb in the game at the moment.
He's really well.
I can't believe I'm becoming a fanboy of Jake Clifford in such a short
time.
Yeah,
and you can see my profile picture of Jake Clifford. So.
I think he's fantastic. He's just he's an asset to the team. He seems like a nice guy. He has got a baby face. He still looks like he's only 14, but he's the best thing. One of the best things to happen to that team. And
he is an absolute champion of a guy. Like I was speaking to him the day he arrived. The first game he sat and watched from the grandstand. So he just got here. He said he flew down. He was still really tired, but he sat there and he spoke to us for about 10, 15 minutes, and he was just had all the time in the world, and he's just so laid back and just a genuine champion of a bloke. And I think it's one of the signings, or should we say mid-year signing of the year, I think.
Yeah. I was making comments the other day about it, how when you're a kid and you're a football fan, we always muck around with there's only 2 minutes left of the game, and this is going to win the game, and all those fantasy things, and he's living that every week. The amount of pressure on that fella when, oh my God, I got to get this goal, I got to get this over because this could actually win the game, or he's living that every week. His kicking game could make or break, and it has proven, make or break the actual outcome of the game.
Well, that just shows a good half.
Skill.
A good half is like that. And look at Mitchell Pearce. The two of them together are the pieces of the puzzle we've been missing. And then you go to Jaden Brayley and Ponga at fullback. This is as good as any sport in a competition.
We signed him. I remember when we signed him last year, and so many people were criticising it. Like even before he played for us, and I'm like, and give the guy a break. He's in a team that's struggled the last 3 or 4 years. That's and then we got him early because Cowboys signed Beard.
No.
When we all know how well that's turned out. But before we got him on the early release, he was the Cowboys' best player.
Oh, that's right.
He actually got him into the 8.
I think they're regretting that now, the decision to
they got him on early. We got him on early release because they wanted Dearden straight up. And since then, they've lost 10 in a row. Well, broke that duck egg the other day, but mate, that's probably the worst decision they've made.
Yeah, well, to me, that's like trading in a HSV for a Camaro.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, personally, but it's good to see things coming through rightly for the Knights, starting to look good combinations. Everyone looks fit. Can only hopefully I'm right, and this week will be another good win. Put us in step for the first week of the finals.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to the game.
Well, even if we lose this weekend, which I hope we don't, we've got the momentum. Like we haven't peaked too late or too early, but we're going in with so far 5 wins in a row. Hopefully six. It's probably the best we've looked since probably midway through last year.
I just have to say, look, I've got to stop you right there. We will win. There is no ifs or buts. Okay, you got to get the wrong attitude, young man. Okay, when we win. I'll rephrase that. When we win. That's better. It's like swear jar material there, bro.
It probably is.
So looking up for us this week and straight into the finals, and hopefully a bit of momentum and give it a real shake.
Yeah. I think Knights are going to surprise us. They're going to win this one. There's no ifs or buts about it. And
That's
I'm a
right.
big fan of the whole underdog thing. And I got a feeling we might. I think the universe is going to play out, and I think you'll be surprised how far we go up that ladder.
Well, if my calculations are correct, we should play the Riverworms first week of the final.
That will be interesting because
Yeah, a bit of history there, we all know.
yeah, I'll have to get Floorboy Gary because, mate, we could have so much fun with that.
But we might take a short break and be back shortly, guys.
Following segment is brought to you by Purnell Trophies.
All right, guys, it's that time of the week again. It is night of the round.
Yay.
And we'll start off with you, Jono.
My 3 points went to Kalen Ponga. Amazing game. Scored a try, set up a try. Was everywhere on the field and played really well. My 2 points went to Mitchell Ice in Veins Pierce. Kicked that field goal, scored a try, and just helped out handily with the win. And my final point goes to Jalen, Mr. Reliable Bailey. Just played like an awesome game, played the full 80 minutes, and yeah, made plenty of tackles and helped everyone out.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Good stuff. Yes, they did play well. Toddy.
Yeah, my 1 point goes to Mitchell Barnett. You never get a bad game from him. He's always a beast in defence, runs a good hole. And, yeah, my 2 points goes to Mitchell Pearce. He had a 40-20, had a try, and he's had 20 tackles. His defence was absolutely awesome. And my 3 goes to Kalen Ponga. A try assist, another run out from out of defence from the goal, and that changed the game once again.
That's what I love about a fullback. A fullback that is prepared to attack it out of their in goal, not just take it out.
He's done it 2 weeks in a row to change the game each week.
Love it. Brendan.
Okay, well, Mitchell Pearce got my 3 points. I think he was on fire. And yeah, I still think I felt so good for him for that field goal at the end. As I said earlier, the minute that thing left his boot, he knew he had it. And he could probably feel the whole lot of Newcastle right behind him when he did that.
Can I say you're on number 2 points?
Sorry?
Can I say you're on 2 points?
Why is that?
Jake Clifford?
Yeah, he got it. Yeah, it's true. I'm getting that predictable. No, I got to think of Jake at the moment. I think he's fantastic. The amount of pressure that you wouldn't want to play poker with the guy because he's just so cool and collected. I mean, the amount of pressure on him over the last few weeks when he's kicking those field goals and conversions, knowing quite well that that those 2 points that could very much win the game for him, which has been proven a few times. And my 1 point goes to Heimel Hunt. I think he had a pretty good game all over the place. That's what I like. But yeah, all in all, I think the whole team is very hard to pick. I think the rhythm is there that I mentioned earlier. The fact that they've got the spine there and everyone is starting to learn and communicate, it's starting to show. And people who are writing the Knights off there, I think they're eating their words now because I think hopefully it's not too late. The machine is oiled, and hopefully there's still enough oomph in the tank that maybe it will surprise a few people. Because I love the whole underdog story, and I think it's some of the greatest wins from the Knights is when we've been written off. And we just come deliver the goods right at the end. So that could be it.
97.
Yeah, I didn't want to say because I always say 97, but I thought no, that's one of the greatest games in history.
Well, mine, I'll give 3 points to Mitchell Pearce. If I'll stand up and say that it's been a few weeks where I've been a little bit, I wouldn't say critical, but more I know what he could play, and I was wanting him to play the game that he can play and that we know he can play. And he's
that's right. I actually used to question you, like, what's so good about this Mitchell Pearce guy? And I'm now starting to see it.
That's right. 2, Kalen Ponga speaks for itself with that in goal attack. And my 1 point was a toss up between these two. So one of them got it, and the other one got a special mention. I give the 1 point to Jesse Sue. Just never backs down. Just always gives you 100% each game. And my special mention went to Mitchell Barnett. So
Only gone wrong with any of those plays.
yeah, so that was my night of the round. I tell you what, boys, it's going to be pretty close, but in the next few weeks we might start giving out a couple of our awards and leave the night of the round to itself. Maybe grand final or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I reckon that's a good idea. Grand final.
yeah. So it's coming to an end, but there's some good players up there, and voting's gone behind closed doors, I believe now. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've organised security guards and armour guards, so it's all under lock and key. And I think Price Waterhouse have got the nomination forms, and
Well, anyway, boys, that is night of the round for this week, and we'll take a short break and be back shortly. All right, guys, welcome back, and it's time for our guest tonight, none other than show favourite, Kurt Mann. You going, champion?
Hey, boys, how's it going?
Good, mate, good.
Okay, good.
Another winner for us on the weekend, mate?
Yeah, it was a bit of pretty important one. It's sort of cemented us in that 7th position now. So we go into this week. We get the chance to rest a few boys this week and that as well. So it's it was pretty relieving, a bit of a weight off the shoulders, and especially looking at we've been watching a bit of that Tiger Town, and I was seeing at one stage we were coming 14th or something. So it's a bit of a turnaround from mid part of the season.
it just shows you how important that when you got the spine there and all that, like when you've got all the right people on, it was a big change from at the start of the season.
Yeah, it's massive when a bit of continuity, and you get the same people sort of consistently playing together. Makes a big difference.
Oh, 100%. And I love I just loved how like you kind of was written off, at one point there, and then you just proved everyone's just you're just bouncing back, and that's what I love. And I think each game that you're playing now is more and more exciting. And that PC's field goal really probably shut a lot of people up too. That was just magical.
Yeah, definitely.
Even yourself, Kurt, like cementing your spot in the centres, having a constant run in the centre. It's got to be good for your confidence, just staying there and not moving about in position to position.
Yeah, playing centres, I've done a bit of it before, and it's probably not my preferred position or that, but like you said, just having that consistency to to be able to play the one position, you get to work on a lot of things, you get to practice a lot of things as well. So that's pretty important to me is having that sort of consistency as well.
Yeah, and the likes of other show favourite Jesse Sue and Jacob Saiafidi stood up last week.
Yeah, Big Jess was massive. We're missing DSAF and missing Clem as well with that suspension. And then you got Big Jess and JSAF, to share the workload, like probably the lion's share of the workload there. So they were massive, and Jess has been like that for us all season as well, and same with JSAF.
Oh yeah, 100%. To be honest, I think he's probably one of the most underrated players in the NRL. Doesn't get the raps he deserves.
Yeah, definitely. You could tell him to run into a brick wall and you do it, he'd run through it and he wouldn't complain. He probably wouldn't whinge at it hurts. He's a tough bloke, Jess is. Well,
that showed with when you played Manly and he fractured old mate's skull with a head knock, and old mate goes off with the fractured skull, but Jesse keeps playing.
Yeah, I've had a head clash with Jess once when he was at the Tigers and knocked me out, and he got up without a scratch on him.
Well, I think he might be a contender for one of our awards at the end of after this week. Our special mention award. So stay tuned. You never know. He could take that one out. I think a good chance.
Yeah, he'd be a fair chance.
Yeah, for sure. How's it up there? Any news that we need to know about in the team? Nothing. No changes. No, nothing like that.
Just obviously everyone's seen that we're resting a few players this week, so I think that's all come out either today or yesterday. Yeah, but apart from that, I think everyone's pretty good to go. The spine's all still playing together. They just want to. They're still working on a few attack things. You know, I think everyone's been saying a lot about our attack lately. There's been a lot of people saying stuff about it, but if we keep defending the way we defend, I think it doesn't really matter how we attack. So our main focus has been our defense. You know, our wins haven't been pretty. They've been pretty tough and pretty ugly. So I think if we can keep dragging teams into that sort of dogfight, we'll be sweet.
Mate, I don't mind if we win by a point each week. I don't mind. As long as we win, we can win by a point.
Yeah, neither do I. It doesn't bother me. Win's a win, no matter how you get it.
Yeah.
That's right, mate.
Is PC still in the lead for needs the made the most?
Oh, mate, he is. I don't know how he's got through his life so far. He's definitely in the lead for needs made the most. He needs more than a maid. Needs a cook, needs a cleaner, needs everything.
Oh
That's
my
cool.
gosh.
I see the Connor Watson interview the other day. They were saying that he's having a bit of a joke that Ponga giving the hospital pass because he's leaving. He's filthy on him.
Yeah, he got him creased. I think couldn't have ran him into two worst blokes at the time. Big Tino and Mo Fodawaker. But yeah, I think there's been a bit of banter going around about that. He's getting ready for life after Connor, I think.
Oh, that's good.
Oh well, the
Yeah,
rumors say that you replacing him. We've been hearing that you and Ponga are getting a lot more pally than normal.
He's been spending a bit of time in my room. That's probably why. He's just around the corner. Just around the corner from me. That's all I say. I said, "Well, you're getting ready for life after Connor." He's another one I don't know who's going to cope without Connor, because Connor's sort of like his housemate. Connor's the clean one. Does majority of the cooking, majority of the cleaning. So I don't know how KP's going to cope without him.
I get the impression that Connor Watson is an actually hyperactive kid. He just seems to always have so much energy.
Yeah, he bounces around a bit. That's more him on the field and that training. He's pretty bouncy.
Oh, okay.
He's a pretty business savvy sort of dude outside of footy. You know, he's always like taking phone calls on his laptop, working on his little projects he's got going.
Oh, there you go. There's some insight. I didn't know that. There you go.
No, he's a champion bloke and going to be missed around the Knights camp, but yeah, that's life, isn't it? When we'll just have to give it to him when he runs out now onto Energy. Oh, sorry, McDonald Jones Stadium.
Showing your age,
definitely. I used to be called Energy Australia when I was first at the Knights in 2011. I think it was called Energy Australia then.
Yeah.
So marathon.
That or marathon.
It might have been marathon then. I think it might have been Energy Australia or marathon.
Yeah, it's had a few changes over the years. I was actually watching some clips the other day of a young Kurt Mann playing on the wing for St George.
Yeah, played a bit. Went to St George as a fullback, and I didn't start real well. Probably had one of the worst games of my life pretty early on, and yeah, I ended up. Then I got injured, so I was probably out for about 6 weeks with an ankle, and then come back and played on the wing. I quite enjoyed it actually a little bit. I played outside Timmy Laffey, and he was in red hot form at the time. And mate, I was scoring plenty of tries just off his flick passes. So I quite enjoyed playing on the wing.
No, that's good. It's having someone like that inside you always helps. Yeah, but it's a bit like playing outside Bradman Best, and with Gay Guy coming too, we're going to have a pretty good back line.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone can see what Brady can do, and the scary thing is he's only 20 years old. I think he's still very young. Like everyone sort of forgets how young he is, because of his stature, and he looks like he's about 40. So everyone forgets how young he is. I forget at times, and the boys are actually talking about it today that he's 20 or 21 or something. So he's still got plenty of years left in him. And with Gags coming next year, there's a whole lot of experience as well. And I reckon it'll be good for Brady to have Gags here as well, because he's someone who's played centre at the highest level.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, for this week, Broncos, mate. going to be a tough ask.
Yeah, well, they've actually found a bit of form in the last few games. You know, we played them probably, I think it was 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe. And yeah, we sort of sprung out to a lead, but they were coming home with a wet sail there for a bit. So they've found a bit of form. Last game, I don't know who's going to be playing in the halves. I think Milford played there last week. So yeah, I think they're going to be their last game of the year, so they'll be up for it. You know. And it'll be good for us to build a bit of momentum leading into the finals.
Yeah, good to see Mitch and Jake Clifford get a bit more game time together as well. I think it's starting to really gel.
Yeah, definitely. Them two, they're working on their craft all the time, and you know, the more time they spend playing together, the better they're going to get at it, and that goes with Kalen as well. There, I'm not sure if Browse is playing this week. I think he might be one of the players getting rested. So. But yeah, he fits in pretty well with them as well.
Oh yeah, he's just a workhorse, isn't he?
The last 5-6 weeks has been our best form all season. What do you think has changed?
I think we haven't really changed a whole heap in terms of like attack and that sort of stuff. It's more so been personnel probably as well. We've got a few key players back, and you know, and they're starting to spend a bit more time playing together. And that's Piercy's come back, and I'm defending on his edge, and the more time we're spending together, the more comfortable we're getting there. And there's probably the big thing's probably been the attitude shift, I reckon, as well. That's probably been the other one that we've sort of had a lot better attitude to defence, and you know, and being a lot more resilient in that fact.
Yeah, you can see that. Like I felt that the defence was a lot better over the last couple of games. And it's for a guy, as I've said to you a couple of times, Bert, that it's only because of these guys that I'm back into the footy, and it got to the point where it was like, oh, well, I'm going to watch the game so I can see Kurt. I'm going to watch the game so I can see Brody, you know, and then now I'm addicted, and then it's like the last few games have been really good games of footy. Like it's getting me back into it, you know, like, which is pretty good because it's like every last second counts, you know. It's actually pretty exhilarating, and I felt like last week's game was, to me, felt like I got that same feeling I got when I'm watching a final or a state of origin. To me, that is because I was actually glued to the seat because I like every, you know, I walk out, come back in, and it's like, oh my god, what a change! We're up 6 points, you know, or something like that. It's like that. I'm saying thank you for entertaining football. It's convert me back into it, which is good.
Yeah, there's been a couple of games, especially the Sharks one. Their season was on the line there as well, and the Titans one as well. So there's been 2 games where there's been a lot on the line for the other team and for us as well, obviously. So that's probably, you know, the excitement is coming from that as well, which would help.
I think it was last week that you nearly went over, and it was. I thought if the ground was a little bit wetter, I could have slid. So close.
Crossfield kick. I would have caught it like a meter, like half a meter closer to the line. I reckon I would have slid over. I was only about 30 centimeters short.
Oh, it was painful. I'm thinking, get the ruler out because that's like, oh.
Our prediction of being on the show, maybe we're a couple of weeks earlier. Maybe it's this week he gets the try.
Oh, you nearly got there.
Almost got there. I've got to jag one sooner or later.
Yeah, you'll get one this week, mate.
Yeah.
If not two. You and BJ get a double.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, good to see BJ's in the starting lineup again, dude.
Yeah, he's starting in back row. He's Mr. Reliable, BJ. He's, you know, everyone knows what they're going to get out of him, especially when he started as well. He's just a competitor. He goes hard, and he's not going to let anyone down.
No, 100%. He's a champion bloke. Hence why he's re-signed, you know, asset to the team. And
oh, he's a Cessnock boy, you know. It's my hometown.
Yeah, he's a Cessnock boy. He's a local. Yeah, he won't let us down, that's for sure, mate. Anyway, we won't keep you any longer. Thanks for coming on again tonight, and play well on the weekend, as we know you will. And surge through to the finals, mate, eh?
Too easy. Thanks, boys.
No worries.
No worries. Thanks, mate, and all the best on the weekend.
I appreciate it.
Good luck.
All right, guys, that's Kurt Mann, and we'll take a break and be back shortly.
The following segment is brought to you by Mobile Travel Agents.
All right, guys, and welcome back, and it's time for Around the Grounds.
All righty, what a great game to start off around the grounds with the mighty Newcastle Knights 15 over the Gold Coast Titans 14. If I believe this right, someone last week did tip the Knights win by a field goal.
Yes, you did, Jono. You did, and I must say a few fans have wrote in and told us that, reminded us as well. So,
it's always, it's what happens every once in a blue moon, but a win's a win. It was good to see the Knights cement that number 7 spot. So we're playing finals football no matter what.
But can you give us the lotto numbers for this week, mate?
I'm not that good.
No, but yeah, no, it was a great game. Playing into some form. I feel a bit more time with a lot of connections. This week will shine a bit more. And yeah, it's just upwards for us from me.
Yeah. On to the next game. The boys of the Canberra Raiders 28 over the New Zealand Warriors 16. Felt a bit sorry for the Warriors because this score doesn't really depict the game because I think Raiders got a late try and it was a fairly close game the whole time, I thought. So a bit disappointing for the Warriors.
Yeah, I feel for the Warriors, as we touched on earlier. So the Raiders are still with a chance to make the 8.
I think.
So
they've got to win. Be interesting to see who they've got. Oh, you never know. Roosters might want to rest a few players.
Well, have they got any players? That's another thing.
That's true.
Half their teams are injured or retired.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's your biggest fear, isn't it? You know, you're heading towards finals and everyone's starting to break down. And knock on wood, we're not in that kind of position.
100%. But the Raiders too, I had them in the 8 this year, and a little bit of
I think a lot of people had them in the top 4.
Yeah, would I go as far as saying is they're a bit of a disappointment this year.
I would.
Yeah, I expected more. I mean, I'm obviously Knights me team, but I have a bit of a spot for the Raiders. I don't mind them. So hopefully they can keep going through and knock some other teams out, except for the Knights. But poor old Warriors. It's not their year this year, obviously. You can't blame them.
All the Raiders early. They were 16 go up and didn't score a point after. That's just clearly in their last year and a half. They can start well, but they can't finish it.
No, that's right. I mean, maybe they're halves. They need another. I mean, they've got pretty young halves and fullback. So
Walsh I think he can be a superstar. They just need
a bit of time.
They need a bit of time, some experience in the forwards to get that go forward that they all through their history have had massive forward packs, mobile second rowers, and I think that's where they've missed Adam Fanor-Blake when he got injured. Because they were going pretty good at the start of the season. Then he got injured, and they lost that go forward.
True. Yeah. Well, hopefully things might change from next year.
Yeah, definitely.
Another season.
On to the next one. The South Sydney Rabbitohs 54 over the Sydney Roosters 12.
Was a good game.
Was a good game, but like with the last game, it didn't. The score doesn't reflect how close the game really was because, as soon as Manu went out, Latrell got sent to the bin. Rabbitohs just piled on the points. So,
That's right.
It would have been a lot closer. Or even if Latrell actually got sent off, I reckon it would have been a lot closer. Just disappointing for the Roosters.
Yeah, true. But Yeah, here's what it is, and we have to move on. So we'll move on.
Move on,
to the
just
next one.
just another speedy recovery for Joey Manu. Hopefully,
No, 100%.
he's ready to go next
Yeah,
season.
you don't want to see anyone injured like that. That's for sure.
Anyway, the North Queensland Cowboys 38 over the St. Kilda Dragons 26. Just one of those seasons that just when everything went wrong for the Dragons, just pack it up and get ready for next year.
That's another team that was a disappointing factor. I've expected them to be a lot better than what they are, especially with they've got some talented players and Hook's a good coach. Disappointment.
Didn't they start out strong this season? Didn't they show promise they were going to set the world on fire?
Yeah. They're in the 8.
Yeah. I mean, they got the players to do it. You know, they got some good players, but
Belief.
also they're letting go a couple of good players. But yeah, next year.
So that's what both teams looking forward to next year. Get the refresh and go from there.
Go to Bali.
Yeah.
Well, Jono knows all about Bali.
Yeah, good place to party.
Yeah, well, that's another team there. That's disappointment. So,
Yeah.
move on. That's all we can say. All right, guys, we'll take a short break and be back with Around the Ground shortly. All right, guys, and welcome back to Around the Grounds here on Nighttime.
Alrighty, the Cronulla Sharks, the boys from the Shire, 24 over the Brisbane Broncos 16. That was a pretty good game. Like the Broncos are like hanging around. It's just they just can't get that final, just like couple of points or another try to get them win the game. So it's good. It's good for the Broncos. Kevy's got his boys like playing hard. I think it's for the Sharks if they win, they're in. So,
well, that's what I was saying. That the ponies aren't going to be easy beats this week.
No, it's going to be a tough test for us, I think. Payne Haas, if he plays, I think he's playing. Sorry, he's honestly one of the best young props in the game, and
that's right.
They're trying hard, but they lack that polish.
Yeah,
just the last 20 minutes of a game is where they're letting themselves down.
But the thing is, this week they got nothing to lose.
No, that's where they're going to be dangerous.
That's right. And they know we've got everything to gain. So it'll be like, let's go out there and have fun. And yeah, so I wouldn't be taking them lightly, that's for sure.
No,
yeah, they'll come good next year. We've got some players going up there, but I see Danny Levi is not getting another contract.
He's been up since he left us. He had a season and a half at Manly and couldn't really crack him week to week. And he was basically either on the bench or he was playing Rezzies, even though Rezzies wasn't on last year to COVID. But yeah, he goes, with the Rezzies got an option. Maybe Super League could be an option for him.
Yeah, he's off to Super League.
Oh, he's
yeah,
off
that's what I thought.
yeah,
that's what I thought.
Because he's got the talent, but I think we can't seem to crack first grade week to week. That's been a problem since he left us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But hopefully he'll go well over there. Not sure exactly who he's playing for, but he'll link up with the likes of Sione and crew over there that he used to play with. So best of luck to him.
Yeah.
Hopefully Sione going good. I don't watch too much Super League because it's on maybe too early or too late.
Best of luck to him, and we'll move on.
The Parramatta Eels, Floorboard Gary's Riverworms 22 over the Melbourne Storm 10.
Well, who's
saying
saying
that? With that?
Someone did tip it last week.
Yes.
Bold predictions.
Oh, is that you, Jono?
Wow.
Yeah, that would be me.
Yes, you did too. We should have put a lazy 100 on it.
Oh, I won't go that far, but
I wish we did.
Parramatta just come out of the gates red and just never let go. Just kept never gave up. Just kept on putting it on the Storm, and I think that's the blueprint to beat them. Like Storm didn't really have any players out. It's just Parramatta forward just came after him, just never stopped.
Well, let's just hope that they burn themselves out if we're going to play them in the first week.
I think they've been a bit flat the last couple of weeks since Pappenhausen came back. I think Hines and Pappenhausen are getting in each other's way. They have too much of a similar style.
Pappenhausen comes back and Hines gets shafted pretty much.
Yeah.
I would have left Hines on.
So was I.
think-
He's awesome. He's probably been one of the best fullbacks all season.
No disrespect to Pappenhausen, but Hines is playing well, so why get rid of him? And he's sort of, to me, he's a bit like a Ponga, an extra ball player.
Yeah, exactly.
So interesting, that one. That's for
Bit of a
sure.
head scratcher, I think. Because Pappenhausen is the incumbent for Storm, it was like, oh, okay, he goes back to a utility, but he's been their best player all season, the most consistent.
Well, like I've seen some Pappenhausen's been out, like Hines has been their best player, and yeah, well, I don't know what happens this week. Is Hines back in the full back role, or is Pappenhausen one again?
To be honest, you know what I'd do? I would even put Hines at 5'8" and put Munster on the bench. I'm not a big fan of Munster, honestly. I don't think he offers as much.
He seems to get in his own way sometimes. He makes the odd mistake, and when he's not playing well, he lashes out with his boot. And
Yeah.
It was an unlike Storm performance.
That's right.
Very flat, made errors. Like when you thought they were getting on top, Parramatta they were amazing on their scramble defence.
Well, you think Hines and Hughes half 5'8", Pappenhausen.
Yeah, that could be an interesting combination.
Pappenhausen at the back,
Yeah.
block of cheese at 9.
Yeah.
Pretty dangerous.
Very dangerous.
He's got a good ride there. Hopefully, he fits in well with Cronulla next year.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he'll. Personally, I think he'll shine. He'll probably stand up to be like the Ponga of Newcastle. He'll be that of Cronulla.
Yeah.
I think they just need the forward pack, I guess, to get him forward for him to join us.
We got Finucane. Got Finucane and Toby Randolph and
they could be a team on the rise next year, and I hate to say it.
Yeah.
I have too many mates who are Cronulla supporters who'll give me crap every week for that.
All right, let's move on, boys. The next one, eh?
The Manly Seagulls 36 sent the Bulldogs back to the doghouse 18. Just nothing going right for the doggies this year.
No.
Hopefully like their talent they've brought in, hopefully can change that, but get this final game over and head on to next year.
Yeah,
they didn't play too bad, to be honest. I think they gave Manly a bit of trouble throughout. Probably.
That's the thing. They've played well in quite a few games.
Yeah, patches.
Yeah.
They gave South a run a few weeks ago.
I still think they're buying all these players, but yeah, maybe they need to look at some better halves and hooker.
Well, they've got
Lewis coming in. It's 450,000 out of the cap, so they might be able to get a young half.
Who's that, Johnny, coming in? Sorry.
Oh, so they got Burton coming in, and I heard through the grapevines that they're trying to poach Pearce.
Yeah, well, who isn't trying to poach Pearce now? The Tigers.
Apparently, he's off to France, and apparently he's off to the Tigers.
Yeah.
Now, those rumours have been floating around for probably the last 4 or 5 months.
This is true, but the only thing you've got to look at too, we've just signed that St George half, Adam Cleese.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't too happy about it though. I haven't seen too much of him though. I can't really comment.
I think he's just a good replacement because, as you know, Pearce has been injured the last couple of years, so he's good. He's good backup, I reckon.
What's that do for the likes of Phoenix Crosland? Okay.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, well, he's been in and out of the side. He's either on the bench or, he's back up to Pearce or.
Interesting, but I looked at it that as well as maybe there might be a bit of truth in Pearce. Might be having one more year than gone.
I mean, he's 30. What is he? 33 next year. And he had the 2 neck injuries.
Might go to France and retire or something.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be good money.
Big money. Can't blame him. Anyway,
They always say Father Time's undefeated. So see what
Clifford,
happens.
I think the attack's going through Clifford and Ponga at the moment.
Mm.
yeah, true.
They've probably been our two best attacking players over the last probably 5 weeks, and Pierce he's just mostly been our best defensive half, to be honest.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, on to the next
And
one.
then the final game of the round, the Crazy Ladies, Penny Panthers 30 over the West Tigers 16. Just made me happy because like the Penrith Panthers are clicking in all gears again, and just hopefully they can challenge the Storm for that title.
Well, that'll see this weekend too. If Storm lose,
Yeah, they
and
get the minor.
Penrith win, yeah, they get the minor premiership.
I think they're firming. I think they're firming at the right time, whereas Storm have been a bit flat.
So Penrith are getting a few players back too at the right time.
Yeah.
So that Pangai Jr. looked good in the Panthers jersey.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome. That try he got.
It just
It was a very
Remember how I
interesting
was
game
saying-
all around. I don't want the crazy lady to hear it, but I'm enjoying watching the Penrith Panthers play. And
Yeah, so
I'm a big fan of Nathan Cleary and his chin. I think he's a good player. I like.
He's a franchise player. I think.
He's a good player, and it was good to see them get the win. Just hopefully they can keep it rolling and challenge the Storm in that grand final.
A few weeks ago, I thought it's going to be whoever's going to play Melbourne in the grand final. At the moment, it's, who's going to play Penrith?
yeah, I wouldn't write Melbourne off yet. They could change.
Definitely not.
I just bring the beer and the Skittles and the popcorn and all that stuff over to the
Finals
Spinners
is a whole
household
different.
because it's going to end up being the Knights and Penrith.
Oh, can you imagine that?
Loyalty is made.
Remember that classic game we had against them last year?
Yes, that was good. That was a good trip
good.
home for Penrith, that one. But I tell you what, the year before wasn't.
No, yeah, definitely not. I remember that. I was a few drinks deep on that, and that was depressing.
The only good thing about that was.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the Smithers car coming home from a game like that.
I don't give it to her too much like if we beat her because I know what it's like on the other end of the foot. But
Over the last 5 years, previous.
we got beaten. What was it? Something 52-4 the week before, the year before.
52-12. I saw it the other day.
Something like that. The only good thing about that game is I got Sioni's jersey. But
there you go. There's some trivia I want to know. What's the highest score ever been scored in a rugby game? It'd have to be in the 60s or 70s, sure.
Oh, yeah. I think it was.
I think it was this year. It was like 60-12, wasn't it, or 60-24?
Unheard of, isn't it? It's amazing. This is
It's
a
only
year for
gonna
big
get-
scores.
But it's because it's so
Ravens
fast.
had the combined point scoring in a game. It was like 70-24 or something.
Wow.
Something like that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, so that's around the grounds for this week, boys, eh?
Well done.
And we'll take a short break and be back shortly.
The following segment is brought to you by Sports Power Newcastle.
Okay.
All right, guys, welcome back, and now it's time for the Crazy Ladies Joke of the Week.
A married couple went to the hospital to have their baby delivered. Upon their arrival, the doctor said he had invented a new machine that would transfer a portion of the mother's labour pain to the father. He asked if they were willing to try it out. They were both very much in favour of it. The doctor set the pain transfer to 10% for starters, explaining that 10% was probably more pain than the father had ever experienced before. But as the labour progressed, the husband felt fine and asked the doctor to go ahead and bump it up a notch. The doctor then adjusted the machine to 20% pain transfer. The husband was still feeling fine. The doctor checked the husband's blood pressure and was amazed at how well he was doing. At this point, they decided to try for 50%. The husband continued to feel quite well. Since the pain transfer was obviously helping out the wife considerably, the husband encouraged the doctor to transfer all the pain to him. The wife delivered a healthy baby with virtually no pain. She and her husband were ecstatic. When they got home, the milkman was dead on the veranda.
Oh God, I was thinking, where the hell is this going? Oh, that's good. That's good.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't heard a good milkman joke for 20 years.
Is there even any around anymore?
That's it.
Probably
political
that's the
correctness.
reason why.
No, it was good.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've got another one. It's a short one and it's quite funny.
All right. Yeah, well, here we go.
Encore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quite
A
funny.
wife asks her husband what he is doing. His reply, I am reading a book. She asks, why are you crying? He says, the book is sad. She asks, what book is it? His reply, it's my bank book.
Oh, I was thinking it was going to be, it's our wedding album. Bank book. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, gosh. All right. Fan of the week
All right.
time.
Fan of the week this week is none other than Toddy, our guest host.
Yeah.
Well done, Todd.
Yes.
Round of applause.
Yeah. And I thought, well, I thought we'd surprise you, mate. Or we thought we'd surprise you. It's a first for us. We actually got the fan of the week to be on the show at the same time, so you can actually hear it in real time.
Okay, that's something I can brag about, definitely.
You've had to. There you go. It's almost like a trip to Disneyland. You're on the show and the fan of the week.
Oh,
That's it.
I've won it. I've won it all.
Yeah, there you go. You can die a happy man now. Okay, well, there you go. Thank you, Kylie.
All right, that was the crazy ladies joke of the week and fan of the week. Never lets us down with them jokes, that's for sure. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back shortly.
The following segment brought to you by Feral Archery.
All right, guys, and welcome back to Nighttime, and it is time for Smitter's Mailbag. First one, we've got a few this week, but had to keep it down to 5, so it wasn't the full show. Hello, team. By now, you've probably discussed this, but I just wanted to know what your opinions are on Latrell Mitchell's incident on Friday night. Personally, the biggest thing was not that he was not sorry, remorseful for his actions, whether deliberate or not. Did you see Latrell have words with JWH or vice versa on the sideline? The next game between the two teams should be very interesting. From Ed from Soldiers Point. Yes, well, firstly, he was in the sheds tweeting and Instagramming messages of congratulations, 100th game for this people. If that was me, I would have went straight in and put a thing up to Joey Manu saying sorry. So I think he could have dealt with it a bit better.
Yeah.
I think he sort of came out later and apologised. It's just a bit sad, like he wasn't really remorseful like during the game or like straight after it happened.
I think he could have helped himself as well if he showed a bit more. You know, it would have went better in his favour as well. But
yeah, most players they go up and give him a pat, give him a shake or whatever. But Latrell really didn't do anything. He wanted to go on with it.
Look at Corey Harrier.
Yeah.
You know, Corey, that shows straight away he was, so.
Remorseful.
Yeah.
He
Anyway.
got on, I think, too.
Good question, but we'll move on from that. I've had enough of that incident, I think.
Yeah.
Next one. Hey, who else is off contract this year or next? Who should we sign as a priority? Matt Nelson from Canberra. It reminds me of Peter Harvey.
Everywhere.
But, I think we've got the nail on the head. We signed Gagai. We've got Clune as a good backup.
I think what they mean who on our current roster should be re-signed because there's a few.
Well, I know we just re-signed Kurt a few weeks ago.
Well, Jesse Sukans is free to talk to any clubs from November 8th, I believe.
Yeah, so is Kalen, I think, too. But I think Kalen at the moment has to be priority.
Yeah.
I know he's contracted until like 2023 or 24, but he has that option in his favour for this season. So if I'm being honest, Kalen has to be the priority to get him signed for an extra 4 years or whatever,
Yeah, true.
on top of what he's already on with another 2 years.
Yeah,
I think he'll resign. I think he'll extend his contract.
yeah, he'll be captain. Yeah. So I'd say he's all but signed, I reckon.
Yeah, the fact that he's got captaincy just so early in his career is definitely in our favour, him to resign, because it's given him leadership at such a young age. It's something like Joey had as well.
That's true.
That's my opinion.
I know I'm a bit biased here, but I'd be signing Suaso up too for another couple of years.
Definitely.
Not much either.
He's shown this year his value to the team.
Yeah,
that's
And I
fine.
was just on that matter too. Jalen Brayley signed an extra 3 years, so that's a good priority that we've got him locked up for a bit longer.
He's played every game bar this one coming up. He's only missed about 5, 6. He's only missed about 10 minutes of game time all season.
Yeah, no, he's
Been an Iron Man for us.
shown a really good asset to the club. He is. Next one. Thank you for reading my question on your show. With Gay Guy coming next year, who will be your lineup 1 to 5? From Donald Rayworth in Aberglasslyn. Yeah. 1 to 5. Obviously, KP at 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bradman would definitely be there, barring anything.
Who's your wingers?
One of the wingers has to be Homelheim.
I would have said one of them had to be Tuala.
It's going to be hard because also I know a
the
lot of
thing I'm
people.
loving is the fact that we've got options. We haven't
That's
had
right.
that in the last couple of years, and we've got people fighting for a spot. And for us to, possibly be top 4 next season, you got to love the options that we have.
I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but Gay Guy plays exceptionally well for Queensland on the wing,
He does.
right? So back in the days of Matt Gidley, Tomato Tahu combination, centre and wing, Bradman in the centres, Gay Guy outside him.
That could be 20 plus tries right there, because we've seen what it's been like for Tuala, when as soon as he went on the wing, he scored like 7 tries in his last 5 games. Last week was the first time he hadn't scored a try in a month.
And then you got Hunt, Tuala, and Kurt to fight out the other centre and wing position.
Well, this is a bit controversial. Do you move Kurt into that 13 role?
You could, but then you're going to push the likes of Lockie Fitz, Mitch Barnett. Yeah. So if Kurt's not in the 3, unfortunately, you'd probably go to 14.
I'd prefer him on the bench, to be honest, because he offers that versatility that Colin Watson has, whereas he can play anywhere in the spine, or you can bring him on and play him as a ball-playing lock.
You could, exactly. But I'd still like to see a shot at Gay Guy outside Bradman.
I actually like that idea, to be honest.
That's a good call.
I think it could be lethal.
Because Gay Guy's got a bit of size. He's not tall. He's got a lot of strength in the upper body. And he's very hard to tackle.
And a lot of people say, no, we're buying him to be a centre. Why do Queensland play him on the wing all the time? And he always plays well. There's a reason for it. So, yeah.
Put the proof's there, isn't it?
Put a maroon singlet underneath his nice jersey.
Anyway, we'll move on to the next one. Hey, crew, do you think Gary, the floor boy, his Riverworms are going to beat one of the other teams in the grand final after their great win over the Storm? That's from Karen Bennett. So she's thinking that the Riverworms might get to the grand final. Ooh.
I don't know.
I don't see it happening.
If they get ICG back before the finals, anything's possible, because they've missed him the last month. I just don't think they're going to beat Penrith this year. I'm not this week. I think their grand final was last week against Melbourne. I think Penrith will be too strong this week.
I could see them like causing an upset in the first week of the finals, but I don't think
No, they
past
won't.
the second
No,
round.
they won't. Jonathan, no, they won't because we're playing them.
Well, is that set in stone, Bart?
No, it's looking like it, but yeah.
If they lose to Penrith this week and Roosters win, I think they'll go down to 6, and Roosters and Manly will probably fight out for that 4.
Yeah.
Well, in saying that, I don't see them beating the Knights, but if they get that 5 spot, they could probably beat the Sharks.
That's what I thought you meant. That's what I thought you meant, John.
Yeah, a little bit more diplomatic.
But so like I could see them beating the Sharks, but they'd be knocked straight out in the second round.
That's exactly right. We'll move on to the last one. Hi, just wondering why you think the Knights are refunding our membership money and not rolling it over to next year. I'd be happy to have the credit sit there because my family will always remain members with the Knights. Jody from Waratah. Good question. Yeah, I think you should have the option if you just want to roll it over to next year and start paying off your membership. And
I think South did that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good idea too. Like you just keep it rolled over and then you can also do gives them the option to decline if they don't want to be members next year. But why wouldn't you?
Right.
Probably a business decision. If they give a refund, they can then claim it as a loss, and then when they create memberships again for the following season, it's money coming back in again. In and out. Whereas it rolls over, there's no money. Going through the books.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Sure. Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't think of it.
Mr. Moneybags over there.
Sorry, but that's right.
Scrooge McCann.
They'll be able to claim a lot. There'll be some kind of, I would imagine, that at the end of the day, Knights Inc. is still a business, and they're going to have a lot of losses due to COVID. So I would imagine rolling over any kind of finances doesn't look good on books. And not to say they can justify membership could be going up next year. You know what I mean? Yeah, there you go. See, so it's a win-win if they give the money back. Well, I'm assuming from a business point of view, give the money back. There's your loss for that financial year. Come next year, money's back in, and probably a little bit more than what you were going to have initially. So I don't know, but that's the way I would have saw it. Sorry, I'm not Jewish.
Anyway, we'll guess time will tell. But end of the day, everyone will be looked after, I suppose. And that's Minna's mailbag for another long week. And we'll take another short break and be back shortly.
The following segment is brought to you by Burger Urge.
And welcome back to Nighttime. Time for career review. Jono.
Yo, so we've got who do we have? The Brisbane Broncos this weekend. So I reckon we can cause the upset here.
Yeah, we'll get that.
I honestly think we're going to win.
Yeah, we'll get that. Knights will get that.
Yeah.
I reckon it'll be a tight game, but
100%. It's still going to be a thrilling game, and I can't believe I'm actually looking forward to watching it because I think it's going to be entertaining.
To be honest, I'm just a bit disappointed that we're in lockdown. Otherwise, we could have had a barbecue. Really celebrate.
Yes.
It really makes me a bit. Knights will come out strong on that, but it won't be an easy game.
No, the way Brisbane's been playing this weekend won't be easy.
My biggest fear is that we're going to win, but it might come at a cost.
As
long as Piercy doesn't do his little, puts his shoulders out and all that kind of
stuff.
We've
rested a few players for this week, but I'm a bit surprised when we didn't rest Ponder. I know he hasn't played many games this season, but
apparently he's playing.
Yeah.
Who is getting rested this week?
Brayley.
Go into that in team list Tuesday.
I think we'll win. I think Broncos will show some fight, but I think if our attack is a lot better than what it was last week and we compete about 80, 90%, I think we can win reasonably well.
Let's hope you're right, Doug.
Yeah.
I think the biggest trouble with the Broncos is trying to slow down Payne Haas because he's just the man on a mission at the moment.
Yeah.
You got to be wary of some of their outside backs too. I mean, I'm a big fan of Corey Oates. I think he's quite a good player. But yeah, I think we can do him comfortably. But we got to be on our game and not sleep in the second half.
We can't let up against him and let him beat us like Gold Coast and all that they did the last couple of weeks.
And we also got to come out from the start, from the get-go, firing, not let them get away. So anyway, on to the next one, Jono.
On to the next game, we've got the Canberra Raiders over the Roosters.
Yes,
That'd be a tricky game.
Massive implications on both sides. One could make the top 4. One is playing for a spot in the 8.
To be honest, this could be even close as match of the round. To be honest, I think it'd be a cracker.
I agree.
It'd be a cracker of a game.
I think it could be a cracker of a game.
Roosters Raiders have a history of the last couple of years.
Yeah, true. Ricky Stewart, former coach of the Roosters as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders did beat the Roosters, because the Roosters are just hopping into the playoffs. So they lost Manu now, so there's another person to add to the injured list.
They're an advantage at the moment.
We'll get into it a bit more in our tips, but Smither has tipped the Raiders.
Oh.
Yeah, on to the next one, boys.
This Cronulla Sharks versus Storm. Melbourne Storm.
I think Storm is going to rest a few players. But in saying that, I would assume Belly 8 would have given him a roasting after last week.
Yeah, I can't see him losing back-to-back. And they haven't lost back-to-back games in a long time. I can't see it happening this week.
No. And I think, a few players probably had to perform. Or
we're really scared after that bellyache spray.
Well, they actually said when he says nothing, it's even worse.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think Bennett's done that a few times in the past.
And it just doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the next one, Johnny.
Gary's Parramatta Eagles, aka the Riverworms, versus the Crazy Ladies Penny Panthers. I reckon this could be another good game, I reckon.
Yeah, I was
game of the round as well, I think.
Yeah, I'll be taking the Panthers. I'd like to see Tittle, Fisher Harris return to form, because I thought they were a bit quiet last week. But who I was impressed with was Tavita Pengai.
Oh, that's who I was impressed with too.
If he goes to the Dogs with a premiership, that could be huge for a lot of confidence.
Remember how we were saying about change of clubs, changes of players sometimes?
Yeah.
I really think if Tavita Pengai stayed with the Panthers, he would probably be one of the best forwards in the game.
He'll play State of Origin if he was able to stay with the
Panthers. I just think already you can see a change in that bloke.
Yeah.
He had to do too much at the Broncos over the last 2 years. They needed him to fire. Yeah.
This is how well.
Honestly, I don't think Kevin Mulder's as much of a coach, and I honestly think Kevin Mulder's been fired.
Yeah,
and I don't think Walters could get the best out of him. And Cleary over the last month has got more out of him than what Walters has done in the last 6 months.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
This just goes to show how good of a team Penrith is.
Yeah.
When you've got Billy Omu kick out, push to the bench.
Yeah.
He's been one of the best back rowers the last 2 years.
So
obviously she's not in earshot. Be careful, don't let her hear you explaining that stuff.
no, she's Penrith for mine are they're just so young, enthusiastic, and exciting to watch, even if you're not a Penrith fan.
Well, they haven't really lost here, let them down. That's the thing. I was worried when they lost the grand final last year with how young they are. So I just hope they don't falter like the Raiders did last year and missed the top 4. But they've proven me wrong, and I think
Well,
they're going to be hard to beat over the next 4 weeks.
Well, they say you got to lose one to win one, so
Exactly.
might be the
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the next one there, Jono.
The Manly Seagulls take on the North Queensland Cowboys.
Yeah.
Waiting for Perotti here.
The old bin chickens. The old bin chickens, eh?
I
think they'll be. I think Manly will be playing for something here because they're in the 4th spot at the moment. So I think they'll be playing. They'll be trying to
They're
play
gonna secure
like all their starters.
You've got a
I
superior
think-
for most of the Roosters and Eels.
So they'll be going for the win, but I'd
I
say
think they could
they'd
win.
be.
Yeah, I don't think they can win the comp personally, Manly, because they rely too much on Tommy Turbo.
Yeah, they don't have many role players that can, if Tommy's down and not at his best, could come in and score a couple of tries, assists. Like you look at South, they've got Cody Walker, who's got like nearly 40 try assists this year. Penrith have got those type of players that if Clear is down, Luai steps up, Coruscant steps up. Manly just don't have that extra to go deep.
That's right. That's a good point. So, poor old Cowboys. You just can't do anything with them at the moment. So,
Now you'd be another coach in trouble too. Payton.
Well, the next one, Jono. This is pretty much similar to.
Yeah, the South Sydney Rabbitohs over the Illawarra Dragons. I think South, like even without Mitchell, they'd probably still have too much power for the Dragons.
Yeah, Dragons are they've lost the mojo. They've lost the power set.
To be honest, the last 2 could be a cricket score.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can see 120 odd points scored in both games.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me, that's for sure. And the next one would be an interesting game.
I reckon this could be possibly like fight for the game of the round, the Gold Coast Titans versus the New Zealand Warriors.
Yeah.
I reckon possibly game of the round.
It's this was probably the hardest one I found to tip this week. So this would be one I'll be definitely taking close eye on. Just I think it'll be a cracker of a game.
I think it just represents what we're talking about. How even if you don't follow the team, each one of these teams are going to be, each one of these games are going to be actually enjoyable to watch.
That's right, because there's teams here too that are playing for a spot, and there's teams that are playing for pride as well. So,
I think that could be a decent game. Honestly, I think they both got mobile packs. They've got young halves, really young back line.
That's right. And to be honest, I must give Nate
Golden Point. I reckon could go close to Golden Point.
Golden Point.
Yeah. I don't think there's much in the two sides. I think they're very similar.
True.
Gold Coast, they had a tough loss against us last week, and I think it could be another close game.
And I must give credit to Nathan Brown, what he's done with the team.
100%.
Wouldn't have been easy not going to play in your home country,
and losing players.
ITS going early. Like the fact that they're going to be nearly in the 8 with Roger Tuivasa-Sheck leaving a month early. Mate, everyone read him off. Everyone probably said I'll be bottom 4 once he left, and mate, he's got him up and ready.
Yeah, that's right. The next one is not going to be that interesting, but this could go either way.
Yep, the West Tigers versus the Canterbury Bulldogs.
This could go either way.
Yeah.
Either way, someone be put out of their misery.
Both clubs are playing right, bro.
Well, the way I'm looking at it too, you got the Dogs, you got Nick Manny and that playing their last game, so they'll probably want to go out a winner.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Dogs haven't won many this year.
a few players there that have not been offered contracts will be trying to play for a contract elsewhere.
Contract. So, yeah, it
Mm.
could be a good game. But, like, it's flip of the coin, I reckon.
Yeah,
That's right.
not much in it. It's like the Warriors Titans. There's not much in between.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll take another short break and be back shortly.
The following segment is brought to you by Sayers Inc.
All right, guys, and welcome back to Nighttime, and it's time for Team List Tuesday. We'll start off with the mighty Newcastle Knights. At number 1, we got Kalen Ponga. Anali Tuwala at 2. Kurt Mann and Bradman Best in the centres. Stafford Tower on the wing. Jake Clifford and Mitchell Pearce in the halves. And we have the 2 props in David Clemmer and Sawaso Sue in the prop forward position again this week. Chris Randall coming in at hooker for Brayley. Brayley's been rested, so Chris Randall's coming into there. Tyson Frizzell, Brady Jones, and Connor Watson to lock the scrum. And interchange bench, we have Phoenix Crosland, Jiraiya Messiah, I can't say that properly, do apologise, and Josh King and Jack Johns. Jack Johns gets a start this week.
Oh, fine. Yeah. That's cool. I'm happy where Kurt is because, you know, he might be able to, you know, put some of these people, these naysayers to rest because he is a very good player, but, you know, he's just been at the wrong place at the wrong time in a few little instances there, and it seems that's what holds on to some people's memories of him, like, oh, he's useless. He's not. And I think he's been in the bulk of it now.
Hey, at the end of the day, look, he's got an NRL contract. The people that bag him don't, so
Yeah,
he's doing
this is
something
true.
wrong.
I think he's shown what he can do in the centres, and a lot of people will probably worry that putting him in the centres, but you've got to remember, when he started out in first grade at Melbourne, he was playing in the centres, and he was actually doing pretty well from what I remember.
And as he also said, on the wing at St George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's been very consistent for us over the last 5 or 6 weeks since he went into the back line.
Look at that pass he did into Ponga, and then Ponga to Pierce. Pierce to score.
As I said,
magic.
the combinations we've missed.
That's right. More on the team list. We've got the Brisbane My Little Ponies. Tessie Nia, pardon my pronunciation. Corey Oates. Corey Oates is very underrated, I think. Selwai Kobo in the centres with Herbie Farmworth. Xavier Coates is on the other wing. Anthony Milford and Albert Kelly are the halves. Ethan Bulmer and Payne Haas are the props. Jake Turpin is at hooker. Alex Glenn, Jordan Ricky, and Kobe Heverington is the lock forward. The interchange, Corey Poax, David Mead, Reece Kennedy, and TC Rabati. Yeah.
You miss Andy, don't you?
Some more right players there, but
A few of those guys are playing their last games for the Broncos, actually.
yeah, I just not real convinced on their halves.
I thought Albert Kelly's done some pretty good work. He's like earned himself a contract for next year, which is well deserved. Milford's so hot and cold. Yeah.
I was thinking about this earlier when I went to do some shopping, and they got Reynolds coming next season for 3 years. It'd probably be his last contract in the NRL. And they got Milford going to South, which is funny in a way. I thought if they kept Milford, it would have been great for Reynolds because you'd be coming in with an experienced half. Instead, they're going to have probably someone fighting for that 6.
I think it's Kelly's job.
Right.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Corey Oates. couldn't get a start in this side earlier on in the year. But he could get a start in Queensland Origin.
Yeah.
Just
Been a mystery this year for Corey Oates because he's probably been Broncos' probably most consistent player over the last 4 or 5 years. He's only not that old. He's only what, 25.
I tell you, no one I do doesn't get the recognition I believe it should is Alex Glenn.
Yeah.
Final game ever.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
It's his final game ever. I think he's retiring.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, it's retiring.
I hope they let him run out first then because, champion player.
Yeah.
It's been a warrior for him for the last, how long has he been playing first grade? 10 years, 12 years, whatever. He's never left. He's always stayed low.
Yeah, that's right. But see, even Denny Levi can't even get on the interchange. He's on the reserves.
Wow.
Yes, that's bad.
He's 18th man.
Turpin's an interesting one too because they've flipped between him and Levi most of the season, and we all know McCulloch left last year. The number 9's been another position they haven't been able to set in stone.
Here's another couple of interesting ones where Brody Croft, 19.
He was their marquee signing last year too.
That's right.
From Grace.
And then another one too I found interesting is Jermaine Asaka. He's on the reserves.
It's probably been wouldn't say he's had his best year, but
he's played some good football, but so I find that a bit weird. But,
he's one of their better players.
With Levi going to England, and don't be surprised if Asako leaves too.
Yeah, well, I know it's possible.
There's rumours that Payne Haas hasn't extended his contract either. So.
No, well,
they may have brought Reynolds, but they've got some players leaving.
Yeah, apart from that, there's nothing really going to the Broncos to attract anything, really. But that's the team for this week, boys. I think
Reynolds really walking into it, to be honest.
On paper, we've got the team to beat them. I think we can do it and do it, if we don't take them lightly, come out, play our own game.
Exactly.
Aim up in defence and just let the attack flow. I think we'll do them, I wouldn't say flog them, but I think we'll do them, comfortably by maybe 2 converted tries.
I think we'll definitely. I'm worried about the cost, physical cost. That's all I'm worried about.
I think the Knights will win, but it'll be within 6 points.
Well, Johnny, you were right last week, so we might. Anyway, boys, while we're on there, we might do our tips, eh? Tips of the round.
Yeah.
All right, starting off with the Raiders and the Roosters. Smither took the Raiders.
I took the Raiders as well.
Yeah, Raiders as well.
I've gone Roosters. I think they've got I know both teams have got a lot to fight for, but Roosters just might be that little bit too strong.
I just thought the Roosters might be down on numbers.
Yeah.
That was my Sharks and Storm.
Storm.
Yeah, Storm for me. Not convinced.
I've gone for the upset. I've gone Sharkies.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I took the Storm, but not convincingly. I'm still, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not convinced either way with my tip. I think Sharks will be good, but
it's going to be.
Well, the Sharks have got something to play for. Like if they don't win, they're out probably.
I think Warriors or Titans will take that 8 spot, to be honest. I think Storm will have a lot to prove, after last week.
True. The next one, Crazy Raiders, Panthers, or Floorboy Gary's Riverworms.
Yes.
Panthers.
Panthers.
Oh, sorry, Panthers. I think Panthers.
I think the Panthers should win. A big cracker of a game. Nathan Cleary deliberately kicking the ball for the uprights. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was Joey in his peak.
So, I mean, this kid's phenomenal. I'd like to get him here at Newcastle, but it's not going to happen. So, yeah, Panthers for me.
Yeah, that's right.
Obviously, Broncos, Knights the next time. The Knights are all us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think KP will get a double.
Interesting. Cowboys, Manly.
Manly.
Yeah, 50. I think they're going to put 50 on the one. You know,
Yeah, I've gone the bin chickens. All the bin chickens. So Souths and Dragons.
South too strong.
Yep, Souths again.
Nice.
Souths, Dragons. Souths and Titans and Warriors.
I've gone Warriors, I'm pretty sure.
I've gone Warriors.
I've gone Titans. Just
Warriors, I think it'll be Golden Point. I reckon it's going to go close to Golden Point.
I'll go Warriors. Yeah. It's going to be close.
I'm going Titans in a close one.
Yeah.
And then you got the Bulldogs or the Tigers.
Tigers. I think Tigers will put a score on the Dogs, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah.
I took the Tigers, but that's another one I was not 100% convinced with. So I took the
I think they've
Tigers.
got better outside backs, and I think their halves and sat a little bit better.
Yeah.
Not much, but Tigers have been disappointing for the last 10 years, and Dogs have been disappointing the last 3 or 4 years as well. And two disappointing teams to finish out the regular season.
I've gone Doggies, get the win, go finish the season on a high.
Yeah. If you've got contracts to play for, we'll try and win one at another club. So possibly, Johnny, you could be onto something there, mate. So that's the tips of this week, guys.
I was just going to pick Newtown Jets over the North Sydney Bears.
There's no reserve grade now, mate.
Sorry, I just had a lapse.
While we're at it, let's do our bold prediction. Johnny, we'll start with you.
I reckon the Doggies are going to beat the Tigers by 20.
Ooh, very bold. Who do? Brendan.
I think Kurt Mann will finally get that try this week.
And the Smitter.
Yeah, and do the Smitter. Like I said, he just needed a little bit more wet grass and he would have slid over last week. But Knights are definitely going to win. I'm just worried. Kurt's finally going to, I wouldn't be surprised he might even get 2 in the position he's playing.
Oh.
He might be in that, and him and Ponga being best buddies now. Maybe they've developed some cool, secret handshakes.
Could do.
Couple of quick passes,
I'm going to go KP and Bradman Best both to get a double.
Ooh. First half or second half?
I'm getting technical.
First half or second half?
Go 50-50.
I try each half.
Yeah, there you go. 50-50. Cover yourself.
Bradman's had a bit of a flat spell the last couple of weeks. So
He's been a bit quiet.
Yeah, I think he'll eat up meters. I think they'll get him more ball, and I think KP would do his usual run from 5 meters out and score a double.
We'll get to the left.
And I think
hasn't been going left.
Bradman more so than KP to get double. I think going into the first week, we need Bradman to not just get the meters, but get some tries.
Well, this is Kurt Mann's going to get his try, and it's going to be from a cross-field kick from Mitchell Pearce. Jesse Sue will get over again. And David Clemmer will break his drought and score a try.
Oh, I love it.
That's bold.
He was so close a few weeks ago, and they took it off him.
Yeah, he scored. Yeah, Kurt was saying that all week. He scored. But
he hasn't scored in 3. He joined us in 2019, and he hasn't scored since he left the Dogs.
Kurt scored crossfield kick late in the first half. Jesse Sue score second half, and Big David Clemmer will score late in the first half.
There we go.
I like that. I want to see the. I want to see Clemente score a try. Like,
Can you imagine how happy you'd be?
oh,
Be safe from the nudie run.
he's done it for the last 3 years.
Yeah, well, technically he did score that other try, so he only has to do half a nudie run. But
Yeah.
Well, who else hasn't scored a try for us? Chris Randall obviously hasn't played much, but
hasn't been many that hasn't scored, really.
yeah,
No.
I think the starting like on the bench and starting.
Even Joshy King scored.
Yeah, well, he broke his drought last year. Against Cronulla.
I think Joshy King scored against the Tigers, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or St George, it was one of the two.
I vaguely remember him scoring this year because I remember he broke the drought last year and was the last try scorer against Cronulla.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's hope we're right then, guys.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But once again, great show tonight, guys. I'd like to thank Kurt Mann once again for coming on, and Toddy for being our first ever fan of the week, celebrity guest host.
Thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure talking footy and talking the last week and what's coming in the next couple of weeks with you.
Yeah, no, we've got some good things coming ahead, and still got the tattoo giveaway, which will be probably coming on grand final day. I think we'll get rid of that.
Yeah.
Make a special day of it. But don't forget to tune in to Newcastle Live and listen to Tracy Mack on Thursdays and Brian Toohey with his tips as well. So don't forget, tune in, and we'll catch all you guys next week and with a bit more of the Knights win.
Yes, and just want to add quickly too for all the listeners on Newcastle Live, don't forget we have got our own Facebook page where you can be part of it. Subscribe, add your $2 worth, submitted mailbag submissions, as well as we've also got the YouTube channel where you can actually see our mugs, see the show in glorious Technicolor, warts and all, and subscribe to that as well.
Yep, no, that's right. There's plenty to do. But it's good listening. I had a lot of feedback actually about a lot of people on night shift have been listening to us up in the mines there.
Awesome.
On Newcastle Live, yeah. So big shout out to the boys up there in the mines that rode into us. So yeah.
Well, that warms my heart because this is what this thing is all about. It's not just about the Knights, the players. It's about the fans, and we also have a laugh too. So even if you're not a big football fan, there's a little bit in there. The characters, us, the laughs,
right.
it's so, and it is a community thing, and we got a lot of respect for, the miners out there, the essential workers, all those people, because we're all just normal everyday people.
That's
and,
right.
So that does. It's really good to hear that kind of feedback.
And don't forget too, we're still got the Beyond Blue thing where we're if you got a spare dollar or two, chip in, and we'll trying to get up to $5,000
Especially
eventually.
the timing of everything that we're all going through. Depression is really kicking in.
That's right. So don't forget to tune in next week tonight time on Newcastle Live, and until then, enjoy the footy. Stay safe.
Go the red and blue.
Yeah.
Once a night.
Once a night, always a night. Good night.